Good, good morning, everyone. Good, are you on? Good morning, everyone. Oh, a terrible luck. Better? Yeah, that's okay. I guess what is this? Oh Lord. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the program. It is Sunday. It is I'm making coffee in my underwear for you. Let's just get in there. Midnight blue. Isn't that nice? Nice and shiny. Nice and fun. I'm glad we're all having fun together today. If you haven't already, I would implore you to watch the latest AEW with the Hardys. It is episode 71. It is a long, a hearty one, and that's not a pun. There's a lot of meat on it. You learn about each Hardy in a variety of ways, and their wives and their children and their past, and Christopher Daniels and cults and pioneers. And I can't get into it much further, but go like it, go watch it, go comment, go share it. Somebody, actually, I'm going to read this out because I took it from, Kiana is a big NSYNC. She, of course, is the person who invented It's Gonna Be May. She invented the meme. So she's all in this NSYNC shit. And she retweeted this fan group because they were on Hot Ones. This NSYNC fan club posted a guide of how to watch their Hot Ones so they get the most views. And I'm going to read it off because I'm on YouTube. Basically, everything I do is on YouTube because they refuse to let me on television. Log into your YouTube account. YouTube only counts quality views. So make sure your quality is at least at 480p. And audio should be at least 50%. Watch only on the official channel. Engage with video, like and comment. Comment every 20 to 30 minutes. Watch the entire episode. Do not speed the video up or skip ahead. Switch off autoplay. Do not loop the video. Do not delete the viewing history. Otherwise, YouTube won't be able to search and count views. Do not spam comment. YouTube traces IP addresses, not accounts. So switching accounts doesn't help if you're using the same device. Do not watch in set interviews, intervals, like every 30 minutes. It must be at random. So you've got to watch my show randomly. Otherwise, YouTube will classify you as a bot. Try to avoid pausing and rewinding the video too much. Do not use private browsers or incognito mode. It's just funny. I thought it was interesting. Show is very interesting. Go watch it. Go like it. Go share it. It was Matt's birthday yesterday. So in honor of his birthday and Jeff's, I don't know when he's born, but whatever. We're all vulnerable people. Shall go fill the voids, is what I'm saying. Let's talk. Red Dog said, good morning, RJ in chat. Carly said, good morning. Shet said, watching from work. Amanda said, good morning. Hello, friends. Hope everyone had a great week. I'll be in and out live today, but I love you all. I love you all. That was Mr. Feeney at the end of Boy Meets World, sitting at an empty classroom. I love you all. That's my impression. Sean said good morning. Simon Graves said good morning. Mikey has been a member for 15 months and said, love Jeff's reaction to your Pioneers comment. I would like to I saw that too when I watched it this morning and go, wow, I wonder what he thought I meant, if he thought I meant what I actually meant. Christine said good morning, RJ in chat. Carly said good morning, Christine. EJO said, what mystery should the Hardys solve next? That's a great. The mystery of why Jeff can't title anything normally. The band's name is weird. All the albums are weird. All the song titles are weird. His Dale Oliver is a guitarist in his group, and Dale, I did do research on this episode, was one of the lead guitarists for Reba McEntire. Get the hell out of here. Mia has been a member for 13 months. It's my birthday on Monday. Can I get a happy birthday song in any style? Please and thank you. Can I get a happy birthday song? Oh, fuck. Okay. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. You're growing strong and you're growing long, and very happy to you. Today is the day things will go your way, and a very happy birthday to you. Some people don't like them. Some people get sad. Some people try to fight them, but time makes them mad. So happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. That's a local, that's like if I owned a Friendly's Diner, I would make everyone sing that. Squirrel Squad said, good morning. Great hay this morning. The Hardys are great. Yes, they are. I thought they were delightful, and I hope they learned about themselves too. Mrs. RT said good morning. Typo said good morning. Jean said good morning. RJ and Chatsters. So Sierra said good morning. Mia, no Miss XD, Machete. So much going on. Nails is here. Nails said happy birthday to Sierra. It's not about me anymore. Susie just said hello there. Kendi said good morning. Everyone's saying happy birthday. I've lost the plot. Francis said, AW Heels represent here. Greeting from the Netherlands again. Just got back from GCW in Oberhausen, Germany. And you saw Ali Kat, and I'm sure she spoke German for some reason. I will say tomorrow I'll be appearing on a couple programs, one of which is Kevin Nash and Friends with the delightful Kevin Nash of the Click This podcast. So I'm sure I'll continue to retweet it. I've tweeted it before. Go look at Kevin Nash's Click. It's Click This. It's not Click This. It's Click. They've been mispronouncing it, as white men in the 90s often do. And we're gonna have a time. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. It's gonna be great. If you want some coffee, and I know you do, you can go to rootlesscoffee.com. You can get Danhausen's coffee, but when you're sick of that, you can get mine, High Anxiety. I love this bag. I love this color. I love this coffee. Okay, let's keep talking. Emmanuel said, if you had a tagline on a Chef Boyardee commercial, what would it be? It would be like, oh, he's in a can? Everyone's saying good morning. Saeed said good morning. Leo said, any chance of getting Phil on AEW? Leo. Phil Hartman is dead. Neil said, I'm going to have to watch those instructions again. I got confused. I'll post them at some point. Sean said, talk about fandom as labor. Well, the algorithm is labor. You know what I'm saying? Neil said, where do you think Jeff goes when he stares into the distance? He goes, who is this person? How did I end up on this show? Francis said, how weird was that Hardy's commercial? So Nails has posted, if you go on Twitter, she retweeted the video, but then added the Hardy Chef Boyardee commercial. And you can now that you know it's Christopher Daniels in there, you can clearly just sit, you'll pick him out immediately. Nails said, can we join the Hardy cult if we're already in the cult? The Hardy cult seems to have to be something you're invited to. I don't think it's a unintentional groundswell like mine is or is not. Sean said, parts unknown. Maurice said, I didn't know B. Arthur recorded a birthday song. I think she did. She also recorded, she's just reading out a recipe. You can look it up. Typo said, I think you can be in this cult anywhere. So I think we're good, Nails. Candy said, this birthday song makes me think of the WB Frog. You must be talking about Michigan J Frog. EJO said, hey, is David Arquette in the house? I don't know. You would see it. Miss Andy said, Reba McEntire sang the national anthem at WrestleMania 8. There's another wrestling connection for her. And she's so fancy. Joe said, from now on, that is the only birthday song I will sing. Chad said, sipping IHOP double chocolate chip and twerking in my chair to that birthday song. Good morning. Bless you, Chad. Kim said, Francis, I love that our Heels Mod Squad shows up here. What was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? I did a surprise appearance on Heels and did RJ City Trivia. Next week, there is no AEW because it's Wrestle Dream on Sunday in Seattle. I've never been to Seattle before. I am tremendously excited. I have a friend who's supposed to who lived in Seattle, but AJ, she's the one who said I look like Gene Kelly, if you recall. She's supposed to be sending me a list of things to do in Seattle. I might have a day to myself. I might not. Probably not. I'll just be writing things. I'll be holed up in my hotel room. I got a nice suit. For Wrestle Dream. It's a different suit material that I'm used to, so I feel weird about it. But Renee has no problems. Renee's getting all decked out. And what else? You never know. I'm supposed to interview Toni Storm again at some juncture. This is supposed to be an interview series, so I don't know when I'll get to speak to her. I watched her Magic Grand Slam. It was magical and then tragic. So I kind of don't want it. I feel like maybe you need a little space. So we'll see how that goes. And so many other things happening. We're going to Colorado and then Seattle for Saturday and Sunday, and then Stockton, California. When in Stockton, Mikey said, "What was your favorite childhood show that which you saw as an adult you realized was terrible?" I don't know if it's my favorite show, but Saved by the Bell was bad, and not even in an ironic way, like the same way you would watch the Andy Griffith Show or something. It was horrible. That did not age well at all. You know what I've been doing? A lot of episodes of Seinfeld. I go, whoa, that one was really bad. Like, that one made no sense. I'll tell you what's horrible. The new Frasier. Let's take Frasier out of Seattle by himself. No brother. When the bastion of good taste, David Hyde Pierce, isn't coming back, that's your canary in the coal mine. Chesley said, just saw the newest Hey with the Hardys. Hilarious. Thank you. Red Dog said, click this is a great podcast. Well, it's about to become a whole lot worse. I'm so far behind, but I'm getting there. Rod said, Chef Boyardee. That's brisk, baby. Fuck, I blew it. It was handed it to me. And then Sean said, when you're in the clique, you're in it for life. Yes, I am. Kim said, I have a pumpkin pecan creamer to add to my coffee now. RJ, you need fall coffee for the basic bees. No, you don't. There's nothing more basic than just having coffee. Squirrel Squad said, like so many people, I was a huge Hardy Boys fan growing up. I probably did a swanton bomb off every piece of furniture in my house as a kid. I also had hermit crabs named Matt and Jeff. When I was a kid, I had we used to go to this beach in Delaware. They loved these hermit crabs. I also want to show you, my friend was texting me, and somebody I'm friends with, and I went to elementary school with his wife, and she had all the yearbooks. So he was going through, and he found my yearbook photo in, I guess, 8th grade. This is what I looked like. Get a good look, kids. And here's what it said. Oh, God. I don't even want to... I don't even want to say. I'm just going to put these up. You guys can read it. Maybe I'll post this at some other juncture. This is so embarrassing. This is so very embarrassing. But I said, hey, go to the class picture because in it, and this is 7th grade. So here I am. And if you will note, I am wearing a mauve Hardy Boys shirt in the class picture. And now, so many years later, I'm ruining their lives. What a fucking journey, huh? Leo said, when are you getting added to Fight Forever? You can fight as Aubrey Edwards. This is what bothers me with Fight Forever. I enjoyed the game. I play the game. It's all in the channel. And I need to do a video playing Stadium Stampede. And then, of course, Danhausen and Hook are coming out soon in a couple days. And... there's a part when you do the career mode, you can go on a talk show in Toronto, and there's a talk show host there, and his name, just talk show host, couldn't have been me. Was that really that hard? Regal had no problem getting in the game. Mess Andy said, I don't know what I liked more. You blaming the Hardys for today's style of wrestling, or you telling Matt he'll be selling stuff at an indie show in 2 years? Wow. Look, all of us know. We're going to go back to the indies someday. Neil said, the commercial isn't in HD, but I bet if we search somewhere, it will have remastered it. I slept in, so I haven't had a lot of time this morning. Maybe later I'll have a hunt. And I'm going to throw this out while we're on the search for early 2000s footage. As I've mentioned before, there was an episode of Sunday Night Heat from WWF New York where Taz stopped commentating and Al Snow took over. This is unfortunately Al Snow's first episode as commentator. I am in the front row, right behind them, and I'm wearing a Taz shirt because I thought I would get Taz. And the problem is it's not on the network because these Sunday Night Heats were on MTV. So I think they were owned by them, and they have no reason to put them up. So the only version I can find is so horribly blurry that I know it's me because I know what I was wearing, but you can't really tell it's me. Typo said, "Are you doing a 0 hour?" Yes, I am. That's what I was implying, but I needed to say it explicitly. Renee and I Wrestle Dream 0 hour, an hour before the start time, so 7 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what time that is in Seattle time. We will be running down the show, everything you need to know. And we haven't even, there's so much to get through first. We still have Dynamite and Rampage and Ring of Honor and Collision. So, yes, but yes. Kim said, I definitely went and found all the videos that were trivia answers from the Heels call. I'm so happy people can learn. Noam said, I have the best cats in Seattle. Good for you. Joelle has been a member for 12 months. A year as a cult member. Where has the time gone? And the answer is ultimately nowhere. Maurice had never been to Seattle. Have fun. So how would you know? Saeed said, if you own and name a compound as your residence, that's usually the prerequisite of a cult. That's what I said. Christine said, oh crap, Wrestle Dream is next weekend. I have friends coming over to watch. Gotta clean the house. Yeah, you gotta clean the house for wrestling fans. Rob said, it's a different type of suit. Are we getting the all denim two-piece finally? Not in Seattle. That would be inappropriate. David Arquette is here inexplicably said, hello, friends. Love you all. And if you want to love David, there's so many ways. Go Bozo's Barnyard on Instagram. Bozo has a legitimate farm now with pigs and miniature horses and a dog and a goat or a donkey. I don't know what it is. Go look and see if you can figure out which animals they are. Noam said Seattle has a larger-than-life troll under one bridge, and it's eating a Volkswagen Beetle. Isn't that interesting? Susie said, is it a terry cloth suit? Kind of. Leo said, I need to buy a new suit. I haven't had one for a while, but I will need one only if someone gets married, someone dies, or I get fired and need to go to job interviews. So best case scenario, you never have to get one. Typo said, I hope it's pumpkin-covered cotton. It's certainly autumnal. I'll be so bold as to use that word. Oh God, I'm so far behind. There we go. Rod said, anything from Sid and Marty Krofft hit differently when you're an adult. David knows Sid and Marty Krofft, and he can attest. Kim said, have you ever watched the Halloween classic, Mr. Boogedy? I don't think so. Nell said, uh-oh, RJ is going to get cranky. David said, wonderful AEW. And if anyone knows about reflecting on their 90s peak, it's David Arquette. Matt Sandy said, I'll be working with Tiffany Thyssen at a book signing next Wednesday and with William Daniels next month. God bless William Daniels. Tiffany, I couldn't care less about. Zoel said, has a 60-second scene request. RJ cuts a promo on a Chef Boyardee. Now, Mr. Boyardee, it seems to me that you don't really have a restaurant that you operate out of. And instead of cooking the things, you seem to can them, package them, and sell them en masse. So, according to my estimation, I don't think that quite makes the cutoff for what a chef is. And even in the chef world, you're certainly not sous chef Boyardee. May I suggest that you are not really a chef at all, but simply a man in a chef's hat. It would perhaps be more appropriate to call you Canner Boyardee or Wholesaler Boyardee instead of forcing the chef label onto everyone. That's not real beef, is it? And scene. My hardened promo in Chef Boyardee. Candy said there was a Facebook that had a video series called Zach Morris's Trash, and I realized how bad the show was. It's available on YouTube. Beyond that, I mean, the show's just bad. Gina said, I loved catching you on the sideline watching Tony Storm's match at Grand Slam. Full-time story time. You got it. That's an entrance you got to see in person. You know, you got to get out there for that. Neil said, I feel like a pajama suit would be nice for Wrestle Dream. Close. It's loungeable. So Sierra mentioned Zach Morris is trash. Maurice said, where can we buy the coffee again? Rootlesscoffee.com. It even says it on the back here. Rootlesscoffee.com. It's blurry, but rootlesscoffee.com. Sean said, hard agree on Saved by the Bell, but sort of off color in a way that has aged badly. It's just bad. Susie said, you're getting around really well. I'm happy for you. When will Europe be on the tour list again? I have no idea. All I've heard is if we want to come back to England next year, which is great. Scotland, we go to France. Do I really need that kind of burden? Poe Girl said, I once had a pet crawfish I saved after it dropped in a puddle after a storm. His name was Shelly. Clever. Pixels and Thoughts with a lovely tribute for zero reason, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Matt Sandy said, Mark Paul Glacier has a podcast about Saved by the Bell. Can we stop with these fucking retroactive watch-along podcasts? They were cool. Like the Boy Meets World people did it. That was okay. The Office gals have they won. I don't need every fucking shit. Stop it. Just fucking stop it. Sorry. David said, wow, do not deny us, RJ. This is too good. Nell said, you've never had an ugly face in your life. Well, you can't tell is that I had a mustache and braces, too. Pixel said, oh, God, my friend had that shirt when he met them years ago. Christine said, those yearbook photos are a delight. Rob said, all these years you've been trying to tell us that your name is Raul Julia. I can't believe it. Well, that was a typo. They didn't allow such ethnicity. It was a racist school. DJ said, have you seen Only Fools and Horses? It'd be a shame if your only exposure to Nicholas Lyndhurst was New Frasier. Oh, I won't be exposed to New Frasier at all. David said, read it, RJ. I'm not fucking reading that. Pickles thought, I don't know why they didn't put you as the talk show host. Tracy said, there's definitely a picture in my yearbook with me wearing that metal Hardy's necklace they sold back in the day. That was a hot seller. SM said, who gets a quote in middle school? Not in the U.S. We got good government funding. Gene said, you just have to make your own RJ for Fight Forever. I did, and I won Stadium Stampede 7 times so far. God bless, Gene. David said, when are you going to show the people the truth? Never mind. Where's your yearbook, David? Candy said, pretty sure my senior tagline was too extreme in my yearbook. Neil said, wrestling bios might have the Taz clip. Maybe, but it's really, I would be stunned if they have one in high quality. I looked everywhere, and I messaged anyone I could. Neil said, Matt called you the Wrestle Ant on today's Hey. Yeah, he did. That was very sweet of him. I've lost my place. I'm getting back there. I'm getting back there. On today's Hey, I feel like he had to explain it to Jeff who you were and what they were doing. I feel like Jeff knew and ultimately just did not care for me. DJ said, what wrestler would you want to hear a Christmas album from? I'm not fucking joking. Last year, there was talks about a Mark Henry Christmas album, and works for me. Sean said, wouldn't all denim be gimmick infringement asking for a best friend? I think so, too. It's improper for a lot of reasons. Bree said, I follow Bozo's Barnyard. You must post more. Queen of the Ring. Good morning. Love AEW today, especially the Living Live Journal comment. Great work. Queen was at Grand Slam as official press. And I was like, oh, my God, let me know where you are. And she did. And then I had zero chance to get out and see her. And I feel horrible about it. So a public apology to you. And if you want to apologize to her in public further, at 1 p.m., 1, you can watch Church of Joshi on her Twitch, her and Kayla, and they say, oh, that Toyota was something else. Which reminds me, I think I need to turn the corner, and it's just because I'm nervous, because she makes me happy. I think I need to ask Emi Sakura to be on the show. I really should. I think she sees me, she says, hey. I don't know if it's a knowing hey or just a hello hey, but still. Leo said, did you see the whole thing about the urban legend of Rick Rude having his penis amputated? Yes, I did. And I will gladly plug that video. The wonderful public service that is Justin Wang did a deep dive Let me press my coffee. Oh my god, I just spilled it everywhere. I got to press it down here. Sorry, you can see my pressing hand. Do you see? Okay, there we go. It was the first spill I didn't account for. So much better. The wonderful Justin Wang on his YouTube dissected the urban legend that Rick Rude had his penis amputated because he was injecting Viagra either into the balls or into the penis. And well, you gotta go watch. It's a great way to learn about things. David, what have you injected into your penis? David said, "Yeah, it's so sweet. All the animals, too many horses, too many pigs. Those are not mini pigs." And a mini jack donkey, 4 dogs, 2 cats, and 2 chinchillas, which are ultimately unnecessary. DJ said, if all denim was gimmick infringement, would Orange Cassidy be stealing Triple H's gimmick, or does the lack of a leather vest make it different? Yes. Yes, it does. Leo said, did you eat Chef Boyardee since WWF did commercials with them? No, because I was Italian, and my mother abhorred the thought of it. Leo said, I love chinchillas so much. Lauren said, hello, RJ in chat. Which wrestler product endorsement is your favorite? Probably Chris Jericho's YJ Stinger commercial. Hard to beat for me. David said, when are you going to show the people the talk show I Got You? I will show it to them. It's uploaded on YouTube, and I haven't said it. It's unlisted. The whole thing's private. I don't know what to do with it. I got to find a good time. I'm going to sit down and figure it out. Speaking of, Key to the City members, you have until the end of today to get Ask RJ questions in. Get it together. Neil said, I rewatched Grand Slam on TV, and Tony's entrance being black and white is absolutely brilliant. And I didn't know it at the time. And I saw it on TV, and I went, my word. Squirrel Squad said, there was a song that was made for Chef Boyardee there. There's a Little Yachty and Donny Osmond. Fantastic piece of music. I can't wait to not listen to it. Kim said, Breaker High was a horrible show, but it's teenage Ryan Gosling. A high school on a boat. So Sierra said, I'm hoping to see RJ in a smoking jacket for 0 Hour. I'm sure I'll get there one day. Leo said, what about a Pelswick watch-along podcast? Probably not. My idea that I texted to Renee to I think, limited response was I want to do 1 0 Hour where we're dressed to go out. Like, we're just about to leave the house. Like, she has a purse and like an overcoat, and I have my keys. And it's like, oh, we were just about to go out, and we got to host this first. It's okay. No, we were just, there was a big dinner we were going to. It was a whole thing. But no, we'll host this. And I wanted to, I want the set to be like a door with like a stoop. And we're make our entrance by coming out of it. And we go, oh my God. Like we didn't realize everyone was going to be there. Christine said, is it me or was RJ slowly lilting into Maniscalco voice? You ever hear about these Hardy Boys? During the Rewatch podcast rant. I also saw Jimmy Carr, that comedian, posted some thing online. Like, that fucker made the shift 2 days ago. I don't know what it's called, but like, I thought this guy was funny. And then it was like, nope, made the shift of, I said controversial things. I think that was literally the tweet. I said controversial things to an American audience. And you play the clip, and it's just like the jokes are bad. They're just bad, tired jokes. And so are the topics. I mean, the guy still thinks 9/11 jokes are like controversial. They're just really old and tired now. Like, you can't. I don't understand. They go, it must not be me. It must be everyone else. And that's where a shift comes. David said, I want cows and an alpaca. Here's your first issue. It's alpaca. Good luck finding an alpaca. I'll say that. Miss Andy said, I heard a story about Sebastian Maniscalco showing up to a corporate speaking event sick with COVID, but still shaking hands with people and doing his act regardless. It's just like the flu, okay? Okay, gamer. Jessamine Duke said, well, hi, I am late, but I'm not sorry about it. Well, that's not a nice thing to say. You don't just don't apologize. If you're not sorry, just you don't have to say you're not apologizing. Just don't apologize. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Jessamine Duke has wonderful things on the channel, playing with her nephew Logan, playing a horror game, and they scream at each other. Leo said, "Have you ever made yourself in No Mercy or WrestleMania 2000?" Yes, that was like the first thing I did when I got the game. Pogirl said, "I love llamas, don't know why." DJ said, "What statistics did you give yourself in Fight Forever? Did you make yourself 99 overall?" Well, I haven't gone through career mode enough to add these statistics. Spot Center with a lovely tribute. My dog is snoring. He's not watching along. Baking pumpkin spice rolls and cooling them on the window, MacArthur Park style, but with lantern flies. MacArthur's Park is melting in the dark. There's ghost ring icing flowing down. Someone left the cake out in the rain. I don't think that I can take it, 'cause it took so long to bake it. And I'll never have that recipe again. What a range. What an insane, silly, beautiful song. Christine said, "Oh my, Mark Henry Christmas album. Take my money." I'm happy. I'm so happy I remembered that, because I think it still needs to happen. Neil said, "Have you actually read the Hardy's New York best-selling autobiography? Can we get the Cliff Notes?" Yeah. Oh, look at this. Fun fashion. Man, we like wrestling. Good luck, everyone. Be yourselves. This is pretty much it. John said, "The amount of jokes that were flowing, great AEW." Thank you, John. DJ said, "Hopefully Mark and Paul White would sing 'Baby It's Cold Outside,' and it would be hot to be in between them." Neil said, "Emmy seems like an absolute sweetheart. Michelle Wine wants Emmy on the show. I look forward to her kicking Saray's head in, though." SM said, "Pumpkin spice rolls sound fantastic." John said, "Ironic, a guy called Wang did a deep cut." It's Wang with an H. It's Wang. So it's even worse. Leo said, "Willow did Eddie Kingston's debut promo when it was entertaining, unlike the cringe-ass Maria Menounos Dusty Rhodes impression. Why would I be watching that?" Neil said, "Don't ask David incriminating questions. He's too honest when he's here. He's going to call his doctor and say, 'What was the last thing I shot into my dick?'" Miss Andy said, "Rootless Coffee is offering 20% off on RJ's Coffee today for their 3rd anniversary. The code is BDAY20. All caps, BDAY, BDAY 20. 20% off my coffee, Danhausen's coffee, some other people's coffee. Go, do it. It would be really nice." Jake said, "What product would RJ City be the official spokesperson?" Hey, Jake, rootlesscoffee.com. Will you please? DJ said, "Would you have June Kasai on the show if it meant you had to take the skewer spot?" Not in AEW. Sorry. John said, "Once you apologize, you have lost." Hold on. Lost my. Once you apologize, then you've lost the room. Leo said, "Did he do a Ronald Reagan impression?" I'll tell you who did a Ronald Reagan impression part 2. Ring of Honor announcer Bobby Cruz this week. I said, "Can you do the Reagan again?" And he went, "Well, Nancy," and it was a man. I was moved. And then he said, "I'm working on more of it." And I said, "Get out of town." He said, "But it's a bit rusty." I said, "I don't care. I need to hear this now." And he said, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." And Mike Bennett said, "First of all, I think it's Gorbachev." Noted Ronald Reagan impressionist Bobby Cruz. Queen said, "Apology accepted. You were working hard backstage." I had papers in my hand. I was flailing them around. Neil said, "You and Renee should be dressed to the nines, but the camera pans down to your feet and you're in glamorous, fluffy slippers. And she's wearing old man plaid slip-ons." I feel like if we called her right now, that would be the case. Rob said, "Good thing we have tickets to see Jimmy Carr at Carnegie Hall next month." Oh my God, Rob. Oh, I'm so sorry. He seemed so funny for a very long time. What happened? Neil said, "This voice turns Rob into Sanjay every time." I think backstage laughter can tone it down a little bit. I don't think everything is that funny. Loomis said, "I like Jimmy Carr in British panel shows yonks ago, but that new stand-up clip was hard to watch. It's like, buddy, what are we doing? I feel like I need to pull him aside." Christine said, if you have an alpaca, you better get it to the vet. Well done. And Christine wins our weekly sweepstakes. DJ said, Jimmy Carr acting like he was about to melt down all social barriers and then making the same joke about being molested by his uncle that every 14-year-old in the world has made already was something. I know. It was so bad. It was so old. You know how I cannot tell you. As a kid, you make that joke hundreds and hundreds of times and you laugh simply because it's inappropriate. That's it. And suddenly, the inappropriateness just totally wears off. It's just ridiculous. Remember all those, and I don't know, maybe they've stopped doing this, dead baby jokes? There was like a whole genre. There was like a whole book. It's like a website of them that people thought they were hilarious. But that was like literally 30 years ago. Like, it was so long ago. That shit, this fucking guy presents it now as like, this is going to blow your mind. What bubble has he been living in? Leo said, what attire did you give yourself in No Mercy and WrestleMania 19? Oh, you mean WrestleMania 2000? I had Christian's pants on, and I had Test's shirt, zip up, ribbed tank top. I thought that was good. I also had a goatee. I wanted to grow up so badly. And then I stopped. And then when I started wrestling, it morphed into what I was wearing at the time. It was also a really good way to like figure out what gear I wanted. I think that was really helpful. I think every wrestler should have access to that and mixing around colors and things you like. Christine has gifted 5 memberships. It's so sweet of you, Christine. Red Dog, Squirrel Squad, Mario, Kevin Featherstone's probably like, what the fuck? You all got ones. Mikey said, Weird Al is the main reason I know MacArthur Park. That Jurassic Park parody is like one of the few where the real song is even crazier than parody. Spot Center with a lovely tribute. I don't know why, but thank you. DJ said, I guess making white bread milk toast. I've lost the. I guess making white bread milk toast faux edgy jokes to 50-year-old conservatives is the easiest way to make money in comedy narratives. It is. It's a really great way to be a comedian if you're not funny, right? Like, I feel like some people do the calculation where they go, look, you've hit a ceiling with actual comedy. But here is a new trajectory. You'll be bad on purpose, and you will have a smaller, dedicated audience for sure for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people might have gone, okay, let's just go this route, and it's going to be way better. Bassett said, I don't care for Jimmy Carr. Doug Stanhope, I think Doug Stanhope is fantastic. I thought it was wonderful. Spot Center said, I wasn't expecting the singing. I must go now. My son is awoken. All right, woke up, you kid. Nick said, top 3 countries according to quality of coffee. The first one, rootlesscoffee.com. Blue Meanie is here. The ever so alive Blue Meanie said, good morning, everyone. Christine said, I was at Ray's grocery store yesterday, and they played a Paul Simon song while I was buying fruit, and I smiled. Paul Simon was just on Howard Stern, and I've seen all the clips. And I haven't seen the full. I need to hear the full interview. It's very important to me. DJ said, which wrestler could sell the most signature bidets? So funny. I just saw this clip. It came up in my memories or whatever for my WrestleMania special when I said the new bidet. Turn it on and feel the power. Something. It's a new bidet. Yes, it is. And then it popped up in my thing. Somebody just retweeted it, and I went, I'm so happy I did that. On the WrestleMania special, I go to interview the Honky Tonk Man, and it's unfortunately Kevin Owens, and I had to deal with that. It was it's good. That's when you know a joke is good, like 5 years later. When you go, I'm not upset that I did this. Leo said, Doug Stanhope sucks. He used to have a segment on the UK show, and it was all the difference between Britain and America is this jokes that were boring and not funny. Leo was making a strong stance. But then also I feel like Dennis Leary ripped those off too, or did Doug rip them off from Dennis? A lot of good comedians here. Kim said, I'm going to Dynamite next month for my birthday, and I'm brainstorming RJ City sign to include. Well, just make sure you're sitting on the right side to get it seen. That's really what it's about. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Cody said, ask Jericho about his Joan Rivers story next time you see him. Next time I go back on that podcast, and I will, I need to get him to tell everyone his Charo story because it's my favorite. Neil said there's an influx of British comedians coming to New York. We are seeing 4 more, and we have already seen 2. Great. The wonderful Andrew Sachs, who's dead. Dripping coffee all over my body. Neil said, I think everything is that funny, RJ, accept it. Why don't you go to hell, Nails? Norm said the dead cat joke books too. John said it's meant to be inappropriate. Comedians canceling themselves at the minute. That's right. But then I also go, it's not that inappropriate. This is not really on the edge of anything. You've brought up nothing new. And these topics, there's just been decades of jokes about the same topic and with no change in it. Devil Within said, hey, RJ, when will we all see Nee Arthur again? Maybe if you look it up on YouTube. But thank you for the wonderful tribute. Blue Meanie said, there are a few comedians I really like who have put out stand-up specials that were hard to watch. I know. You know, Dennis Miller being one. Because I don't necessarily like him as a person, but I go, oh, he's funny. The jokes will be good. Even if they're not necessarily funny, they'll be good jokes. I don't know if that makes any sense. I watched some like early 2000s HBO special he did. And like within the first 3 minutes, like the punchline's like fat lesbians. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't know you were this bad. Leo said, do you know Angry Trumpet Guy? Yes, I do. The angry short guy that didn't have yes. Saw him on a podcast recently. And he said he can fly. He said he can levitate. I can't remember his name, but I walked Bob Dylan to the stage. That fucking guy. I love that guy. You're flat. You stink. You've got no respect for art. No respect for artists and musicians. I love that guy. And he throws the bag down. You're flat. How dare you? You're an insult to musicians everywhere. You're not an artist. I knew the Grateful Dead. Who are you? I was trained contemporaneously, extemporaneously. I almost remember the whole speech now. Yeah, that guy was fucking great. I didn't know I had an impression of that guy inside me. Philip said, I love jokes about dead babies. They never grow old. So that's kind of my point. This is just it's not a controversial topic if you're just randomly throwing it in the chat and then I blow past it. And that doesn't offend anyone here, I don't think. It's just like, because it's tired. That's my point. Noam said they don't need shoes either. Leo said, can you bring this book to the ring? Can you bring this look to the ring one day? Yeah, I mean, that's my Wrestle Dream look. Christine said, saw Ronnie Chang at JFL Toronto last night. He was funny and seems nice. I don't even need them to seem nice, you know? If they're funny, I'm fine. Miss Annie said, I think the Jimmy Carr clip posted was from his special, His Dark Material. And that's the darkest we can go from late 2021. He often talked about people being too offended by jokes about horrible things instead of the actual things. And that is the fucking scam. Got a whole special out of talking about how he basically can't do a special anymore. Nice routine. Josh said, if you have a Fox Nation comedy special, you are in rarefied air. Roseanne and Deuce Bigelow, they're great. I like when they do the pronouns joke. Poe Girl said, I like the emotional damage guy. Can't remember his name, but he has a YouTube channel. Are you talking about me? Leo said, do you know Jerry Rude in the Bathroom Bunch? No, but I knew a Root Boy Slim and the Sex Change Band. I'll trade you there. John Woodman said, we grew up in the UK on Monty Python, Blackadder, Red Dwarf. The limits were pushed in the late 90s, early 2000s. The switch had occurred, and it's back to constantly being offended. No, it's not. It's back to people talking about offending other people. Not that many people are actually offended. It's really not. Some people can't get over everyone not liking their work. That really just drives some people insane, and they will blow it up, and they will say, how dare this person? When they're like fully in their fucking right. Like, who cares? Always. The answer is always who cares. Jake said, Have you ever watched John Mulaney and Nick Kroll's Netflix special, Oh Hello, on Broadway? They pretend to be two 70-year-old New York men. You mean they're not? Yes, I have. Christine said, I have very warm feelings about that WrestleMania After Dark special. Thank you. Joe said, random question. Since you're speaking of stand-ups, where do you stand on Dennis Leary versus Bill Hicks? I was a huge Leary fan until I discovered Hicks in high school. I would say Leary had a far better presentation in terms of, and it was still in that 90s, that 80s, 90s deal where like comedians were sexy and rock and roll. He certainly understood the optics of that and how to play a character and communicate that character. I certainly, obviously ripped off Bill. But I also look back on Bill and I go, this wasn't that funny. Like, and I, whatever, said poignant things, but I don't really laugh in terms of being a comedian. You know what I mean? Like, and I also see, and if he didn't die, I feel like even now you'd be like, well, he was not doing, he would be one of those comedians who they do these specials and you don't really laugh. Like even Carlin, at a certain point, I'm going, is there a joke here? Is this just a man ranting? Which is fine, and the rants are good, but you know, as far as comedy is concerned, you would think you'd want people to laugh. And not to say that he was never funny, because he was clearly very funny. But there's that middle stuff. It's like before he realized how smart he was, it feels like the middle stuff is at least funnier. Mike said, since we are shitting on comedians, what are your thoughts on Matt Rife? I do not know who that is. His crowd work is good, but his material is shit. But I feel like most comedians have like crowd work TikToks and reels and shorts. You know what I mean? For some reason, it's just a nice hook. Like, oh, shut this guy down. Because there's a tense, it's awkward, it could go either way. And I think that's why they do well. John said, Joan Rivers, funny as anything. I'm sure she was friends with Roddy Piper. He definitely met her a couple times. Blue Meanie said, Dennis Leary ripped off Bill Hicks big time. But that I'd like to see Bill Hicks do that asshole song. Sandy said, I didn't expect an Andrew Sachs reference today. DJ said, Matt Rife is handsome in a very unlikable way. Does that say a lot about you, DJ? Cassandra Sanders says, what's your favorite TV Halloween special? Gotta go with Paul Lynde. Hard not to go with Paul Lynde. I will also say special mention. Really, really good Halloween episode of The Muppet Show with Vincent Price. That's a pretty good one, too. I watched the Family Matters episode called Stevel about his ventriloquist dummy coming to life last night. There's everything. That must be annoying as fuck. I could not get through that. John said, as a comedian myself, I get it. Pressing reality is supposed to be absurd. Well, I just go, this is not funny. And I would listen to the Carlin or the Bill Hicks stuff the same way you would listen to like Alan Watts. You know what I mean? There's a lot of and I just want to laugh. And that's why, to me, you know, I would put someone like a Gilbert Gottfried just head and shoulders above them because of how much he made me laugh, and the kind of laughter that you could not get anywhere else. Mike said, Meanie is correct. Hicks was his mentor as well, which makes it even worse that he stole his own act. Maybe it was bequeathed to him, much like the Waylon Flowers gave Madam to the guy who now does Madam. Bassett said, Mulaney was my favorite comic of the 2010s. Love the Oh Hello characters. Wish I could have gone to the Broadway shows, especially the one where they interviewed Alan Alda. Love me some Alan Alda. Cody said, if QT beat you up in the ring, would Paul White come to your rescue? Yeah, Paul White always has my back when shit goes down. I can always count on that. Miss Sanders said, I agree with your view of Dennis Miller. Enjoyed him as a podcast guest when he's talking comedy. His stories and references are still good. Poe Girl said, I remember when Joan Rivers wrote a comedy pregnancy book. Can't remember the name offhand. She also did a comedy pregnancy movie called The Rabbit Test. Go look it up. Rob said, is that black coffee? Yes, the fuck it is. Joe said, Mitch Hedberg's first special was so amazing, even though the crowd didn't react at first. I think that's another example of a comedian who was here to be funny. That's pretty much it. Bobcat Goldthwait, Norm Macdonald, George Carlin got all of it. Philip said, I think you missed the pun about babies not growing old. Maybe I fucking didn't. Leo has a 60-second scene request. Angry trumpet guy getting mad after watching an episode of Hey W. What is this shit? This is an absolute piece of shit. This man has no respect for professional wrestling. In 1964, I walked Gorgeous George up Madison Square Garden. I walked him up the steps. Not to the ring, to the building, the outside of the building. There were a few steps, and I walked him up there. This man knows nothing of Ernie Ladd. He knows nothing of Ray Stevens. He has no respect for this business. You think you're mocking people? You're mocking nothing because you're shit. You're complete, total, utter shit. Sitting here with your fake glasses. How dare you mock people who can't see? I had cataracts, sucker. You know nothing about this business. You know nothing about comedy. You know nothing about art. How dare you say, hey, you should call it go away, EW. It's that big. You should leave. People want some respect for professional wrestling. Some people want some decency, some comedy, and you provide nothing. And I think you stink. And scene. That might be one of my greatest impressions, and I had no idea that I had it in me. You found something inside me, Leo. Eugene said, good morning, RJ. I'm glad I finally joined the stream. Is there any chance Nee Arthur will make an appearance on AEW and finally take care of Sanjay Dutt? I'm working on it. I'm going to have to sit him down and talk to him. John said, you put it into better words than I could. Thanks, RJ. Well, thank you. Leo said, Jimmy Carr did a very unpopular show called Jimmy Carr Destroys Art, where he had an audience had to decide if an artwork from a controversial artist was destroyed or not. Great premise. I enjoyed that. Maybe there would be a smaller web series. Neil said, so many people get angry for being canceled. It's nothing. It means people think they're shit and don't like them. I think it's the opposite now. I think there's plenty of people who get canceled and get a boost from it. The people were not necessarily talking about them before. I think the whole thing is a ruse. And the real canceled is just like, let's stop talking about these people. You know, it's a branding now, the same way it's like, oh, uncensored, or, you know, just like, okay, fine, whatever. There's no such thing. No one's stopping you from doing anything. People lose out on opportunities all the time, even when they're not assholes. So you can't tell me, oh, they didn't pick up my TV show, I got canceled. It's a very hard and fickle period, canceled or not. It's not a thing. Easy said, wow, Hicks and Carlin disrespect. I don't think it was disrespectful. I don't want to fucking, you know, I hope my point is ultimately understood. I'm so far behind. I'm going to get through it. Joe said, I heard the best take on Leary. That was the best take on Leary and Hicks I've ever heard. I definitely agree. Well, thanks. Noam said, I saw Bill Maher in a small club outside at Louis once. He was suspiciously hyper for 10 p.m. I wonder why, because he's a fun person. John said, this live stream has turned into a skit itself. Christine said, I had a high school boyfriend who loved the asshole song. Look, I loved it too before I understood. Typo said, I met Jonathan Ross outside karaoke in K-Town. Neither of us knew how to open the door. DJ said, Roddy Piper was the first wrestler I ever met, along with Ted DiBiase and Tatanka, at a comic book shop when I was 9. Who was everyone's first wrestler when they met? Jesus, what a question to throw out. Kim said, oh, I make sure I sit where sons get seen on Box. I've made it on Boxmania. Oh, excuse me. Gilbert Gottfried's an absolute legend. Leo said, Joan Rivers on UK QVC all the time. Eugene said, Gilbert will always be one of the best of all time. Eugene said, are you sure Paul wouldn't ever turn on you? Me and Paul are like this. Typo said, I also saw Gilbert once when he dropped off his daughter at a daycare I worked at. New York City is a weird place. Nell said, I walked past Gilbert in the West Village once. We were the same height. So Sierra said, the show is nearly over and RJ has not acknowledged today is the 41st anniversary of my birth. I fucking, didn't you say it was your, oh no, it's never mind. It's not your birthday. It was not your birthday Monday. Is your birthday now. It was Mia's birthday Monday. Happy birthday. Sorry about the whole thing. Jake said, that sounds like a bad Adam Sandler. Samir said, you sound like a high George Costanza. No, you guys got to look up Trumpet Guy, and then you'll be like, that was a really good impression. Oh, my God. Christine said, please give us some sultry poses for Sierra's birthday. Happy birthday. DJ said, like his shirt when he debuted on AEW. I always like explaining my jokes. I think it makes them more special. Joe said, the Ray Stevens reference popped me. This has been the best coffee and underwear yet. Did I miss some Blue Meanie? I feel like Blue Meanie was writing more stuff and I've missed it now. And I feel bad if I missed it. Blue Meanie. Oh, no, I read that already. It's okay. Maybe he's lower. I'm so far behind. This has been one of the worst. Couldn't remotely keep up here. Gene said, I think the first wrestler I ever met was Blue Meanie. 1999 indie show in Vincennes, Indiana. Marie said, I sat in front of Sinesta. I sat in front of a Sinesta when Ric Flair passed by. I was too stunned to speak. John said, I know Pac. He lives near me. He has a lovely dog and X-Pac. What? Joe said, the first wrestler I met was Al Snow. God bless. At a show at Texas Roadhouse in Indiana. It was quite a night. It certainly sounds like it. And he said, do you guys want some appetizers? Leo said, what's the weirdest question someone asked you that had a fetish and was trying to act like it was a normal question? Are you ticklish, for example? So people ask, like, why do you wear knee pads? You should go much better with bare knees. It's a lot stronger for you. I'm like, buddy, you just want to jack off to knees. Noam said, I used to hang out with Wayne St. Wayne. There's the winner. Kim said, first wrestler I met was El Generico. Didn't know a thing about wrestling, and that was intense. I was like, why is this man screaming at me? That's the entire business. Typo said, woof, be still are beating hearts. Can't beat a shrug on a sigh. Maurice said, one of the Freebirds almost poked me in the eye at Smoky Bones, and not with their finger. Jake said, those are the kind of poses that OnlyFans would pay for. I did OnlyFans backwards. Messi said, Frank Sandopadre recently appeared on the Naked Lunch podcast, and he said that he's working on something new. That guy deserves the world. That guy did a phenomenal job. Amy said, Hillbilly Jim was the first one she met. Jake said, best venue to wrestle at Indiana. This Evansville's man is curious. I never wrestled there. I was there, but I never wrestled there. I cannot remember the name of the building. Oh my God, the building was like a barn. It was like a refinished barn. It was weird. We just did it a couple of weeks ago. Snap Grapple Pop said, I met exactly one wrestler, British Bulldog, in the 90s. I waited for 4 hours to see him at a signing in Bolton. He said, that's good. Don't ever need to see a wrestler again. Typo said, my sister says wrestlers look naked without knee pads. I agree. Leo wants to know what socks I wear under my boots. Miss Andy said, first wrestlers I met were Ron Shaw and Pedro Morales at a WWE show in 91. Ron Shaw. What a distinction. Christine said, wrestlers without knee pads do look weird. James said, first wrestler I ever met was Tony Atlas. Kim said, jacking off to knees is a new one. I've not had enough coffee for this. Squirrel Squad said, first wrestlers I met were Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels. I have a picture somewhere. It's a small child, and Nash is making a face like I smell. Well, I can't wait to ask him about that on Monday. Samir said, would you try your old gimmick in the Indies in AEW, or has the horse left the barn? There was never a horse to begin with. MS said, first wrestler I met was Danhausen at a signing this year. Lucky. Alicia said, first wrestler I met was Val Venus. I have regrets. Dawn Marie said, first wrestler was Chase Owens at an indie show. Congrats to everybody. Well, I will say this. If you haven't already, do it immediately after this. Go watch the latest AEW with the Hardys. Go like it. Go share it. Go comment on it. Go tweet it. Go share it to all the other new splintering social medias like Blue Sky and Threads and TikTok, and do all the shit. It would be really, really nice. I appreciate it. Matt appreciates it. Jeff couldn't care less. He's over social media. Eugene said, Danhausen was also the first wrestler I met. Could not give a shit about him. DJ said, maybe it's only specifically American wrestlers who shouldn't be allowed to go bare kneed. I don't need to have this conversation. Also, go buy yourself some Rootless coffee. High anxiety, rootlesscoffee.com. Code BDAY20 to get 20% off. Say happy birthday to the Rootless people. Gene said, wait, I think I may have met Sonny at a WWE show. I'm not going to read the rest of that sentence. And I think that's it. Let's get a final look at these. Go watch the Hey. Go watch all the other stuff. Wrestle Dream coming up next week. And until then, Godspeed.